I got some new XRP content. David Patrick, whatever this gentleman's name is actually talking. Patrick David is talking about XRP and Ripple. And these are some really good clips. This guy has a huge audience of millions of people. Let me go ahead and play this for you.
If you value out of this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Let's get right into it. So 2 weeks
Okay, so let me go ahead and put it on normal speed for you. I do apologize.
ago, on February 16th, I ran a poll, and a poll says, which crypto has the best long-term technology? I didn't know what it was going to come up. I'm not a crypto guy. My audience is not a crypto community. It's very neutral. I put Ripple, Bitcoin, Ethereum, other, explain why. At the lowest was Ethereum, 9%. Other was 12%. Bitcoin, whom I thought was going to be 70%, was 35%. And Ripple came up at 44%. This is 179,000 people voting. So it's not 200 or 800 or 10,000. It's nearly 200,000 people voting. Then Gary Cardone retweets it and says, when people run a poll like this and they don't know what they're talking about, this is why people get confused. No problem. Then I challenge him. Why don't you run the same exact poll I run and let's see what it does on your audience? I don't know. I'm not a Ripple guy. I'm not a Bitcoin guy. I'm not an Ethereum guy. I'm a business guy. He runs it. The results when he runs it is the following. He said, you are 50 years old, worth $10 million, and going into suspended hibernation for 8 years, escaping complete world chaos. You are required to make 100% investment in one of the following and have 1 hour to make a decision. XRP, Solano, US dollar, Bitcoin. XRP 67%, Bitcoin 30%, 23,000 people voted. I think this was taken down afterwards. Why?
Of course it was taken down afterwards because Gary Cardone is a Bitcoin maximalist, right? And if he doesn't like what people are actually, people's real opinions are, Ripple XRP is better than Bitcoin. Obviously, in every single category, XRP is better. Every single category but one, the supply. The supply obviously could be lower. That would increase the price of XRP. All good though, right? Everything else, XRP smashes. And then you also have this. Let me play this.
Usage of the technology. When you pull it up and you compare the two against each other, here's what you'd come up. When it comes down to transaction speed, you notice Bitcoin 10 minutes, XRP 3 to 5 seconds. Transaction cost, high during congestion, XRP very low. Decentralization, we talked about that. Use case, store of value, person to person, XRP cross-border systems, supply 21 million, XRP 100 billion, energy uses high, XRP low, adoption, broad, mainstream, XRP niche, institutional. So if you look at this, of course, like, well, then XRP is better. That's what I'm going to be doing. You pull up another chart. This other chart talks about transactions per second. The average block time, Bitcoin, 10 minutes, Litecoin, 2.5 minutes, Ethereum, 15 seconds, Ethereum 2.0, 12 seconds, Ripple, 3 to 5 seconds, Solano, 0.4 seconds. And you can go down and look at all these other guys. So the argument that's being made about what this one, what about that one, what about this one, then you look at numbers of the price of Bitcoin versus price of Ripple. When you look at the price of Bitcoin of where it is today and where Ripple is at, this is what you'll notice. Today, Ripple is give or take $244. Bitcoin today, give or take $86,000. Okay? If you go back 4 years ago, Ripple's high was $1.65. Bitcoin 4 years ago was $64,000. If you go to 2017 to 2018, Ripple high was $384. Bitcoin was $17,800. To let's just say $86 to $100,000, it's 6x, let's say 5x, while Ripple has actually gone down. Now, of course, there's a pending lawsuit. Is that going to get cleared? Security, is it a security? Is it not? President Trump, he's mentioned an XRP, and what's kind of weird.
Okay. So we all understand that the SEC, when they appealed, they're not appealing the decision if XRP is not a security. They're appealing some other pieces of the case. So all good, man. This guy doesn't, he's not you and me. He's not on this information all day long. I'll give him that. But I just wanted to correct that in case people are still learning and growing in the Ripple and XRP space. Actually, we're all still learning and growing in the XRP space. But if you are a beginner, you might not know that. Also, guys, if you made it this far, please hit like. It does help me grow. And if you like me, if you come to my channel every single day and support me, you can hit like. I really appreciate you. I hope you have a great freaking week. All right. Kill it. Wherever you're doing, whatever you're doing, kill it.
In his whole Truth Social post, you know what's the first cryptocurrency he puts in there? It's not Bitcoin. It's not Ethereum. It's not Cardano. The first one he puts in there is XRP Ripple. Why? You saw the CEO of Ripple, Brad, coming out there kind of talking, and people are saying, hey, we ought to look at this. What if the case gets dropped? What if that doesn't happen? Gary Gensler's no longer there. Gary Gensler was not a big...
Also, really quickly, is the case going to get dropped? You did hear Mark Yeda, who's in charge of the SEC, on Fox News last week. He was mentioning that the SEC decided to drop all the cases that don't involve fraud. The Ripple case never involved anything to do with fraud. I think the case is going to be dropped, or it's already dropped. We just don't know about it yet. I don't know why they haven't maybe announced it yet or what they're doing. But if you're going to go on national TV and tell us that you're dropping all of the crypto cases that don't involve fraud, obviously we're going to say that the XRP case is one of those cases that should be dropped.
Fan of Ripple. There's all these videos that we've seen behind closed doors on what's going on. Here's all I'm saying. Just so you know you're watching this, let me confuse you a little bit. I own way more Bitcoin than I do Ripple. I own very little Ripple. I don't want this thing to be an endorsement of Ripple. For whatever I own of Bitcoin, I own a tenth of it in Ripple, just to make things. Ethereum, I own 3 times Ethereum than I do of Ripple. I'm just looking at it on what direction.
I would love to go on Patrick David's channel or show or whatever and just rain down information about Ripple and XRP to really help him and his audience understand the global impact and how serious this is. And really, now is the time. It's not like, this is not 5 years in the future where XRP could be $100 or hundreds of dollars or whatever. We are here and now where you're looking at a $2 XRP. We are still in a speculation market, and markets do have bull market and bear markets. And it's very difficult to figure out what's going to happen next. We have a lot of things happening in the US economy that could direct us to a positive outcome or a negative outcome. Time will tell what happens. Obviously, if people have a lower cost to borrow money, more money will be circulating and value will go into some of these markets. You remember the time of the C word, C19? I think a lot of us understand how much money we were getting during that time to stay home and not go to work. And a lot of that value found its way into the stock market as well as the crypto market. I don't want to repeat the C19 thing because that really did affect a lot of people around the world. But it would be nice if we could lower interest rates as well as create more value inside of our current system for people like me and you. I did think this was incredibly interesting. You do have Mark Carney, former Bank of England governor, and now slated to be the Prime Minister of Canada. We talked about this in a previous video. This person actually knows Ripple and XRP pretty well because he worked at the freaking Bank of England, right? He knows. Let me play this.
So what's the point?
Give us the thumbnail. Why can't the dollar be the global currency?
Okay, the dollar is the global currency. We know that. The challenge is that the U.S. share of the global economy has been reducing. The dollar's share of payments, not just financial assets, but payments, a lot of payments between countries that have nothing to do with the U.S. are in dollars. And what happens in situations like we're in today, where the U.S. economy, to its credit, is relatively strong, is doing better. And the Fed has been doing the right thing, which is, they've adjusted policy, they tightened policy as it was strengthening. Now they're making, the Fed is doing the right thing, but they have adjusted and policy is relatively strong. That means rest of world policy is tighter than it needs to be. And that feeds back on the U.S. economy in a way that ultimately slows this economy. And it leads to a substandard outcome. And in a world where you only have limited policy space, it's a dangerous place to be. And so the trade issues we're talking about are reinforced by the structure of the monetary system. Now, you've asked a big question, so just give me a second to. But now the issue is, you don't just jump to something new overnight. And what we want in a multipolar world, I think we'd agree that we've got European engine, we've got the Chinese engine, we've got the US engine of this economy. Multipolar world, you need a multipolar currency. The question is, how do you get there? And I laid out some ideas of how you would get there.
Or is it all of the pressure on the different in growth around the world would not fall on the dollar exchange rate? Yeah. It would be spread out if it was a global basket of currencies.
It would be spread out as a global basket of currencies. It's better for the system as a whole. It's better. It raises that equilibrium level of interest rates.
Right.
It gives central banks more policy, but it gives people who are watching greater returns on their savings.
Is it crazy to think about using a cryptocurrency in what this gentleman was talking about, right? It's a multipolar currency world, right? XRP is that currency that you could use to do all of that trading for a lot cheaper. This is why attacks on the XRP ledger are increasing. Like, I don't want to get into this too much. You basically have people that are seriously worried that Ripple and XRP will be adopted on a just a large scale, right? And that could leave Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies in the dust. So of course, whoever is the strongest, right, is going to challenge, the person or the whatever that's coming up, right? Because we're coming for that top spot, and they are worried. They are worried. And believe me, Bitcoin can only go up so much. There's only so much money that can go into Bitcoin, right? I don't think you're going to see Bitcoin at 20 million, 30 million. It's just insane prices. $1 million Bitcoin, I think it's just a matter of time. But also, a $5,000 or $10,000 XRP, I think is just a matter of time as well. And then, you take a look at average costs in trading for Bitcoin at $1.24. The average cost to send a payment on the XRP ledger is 0.0002. So it's not even close. Not even close. All right. XRP search popularity surges in Korea, doubling Bitcoin searches. Korea is actually a very heavy XRP related country. We love you, Korea. All right, here you go. Here is the new Prime Minister of Canada is well aware of Ripple and XRP. This is actually linked to this other clip of Mark Carney. Let me play this.
The praises of the underlying blockchain technology. And that's why he's saying, look, they're reorganizing the very business of the Bank of England to this what he called the genius of crypto assets, which is peer-to-peer transactions. We know, in fact, that they've employed Ripple. They've been working with the disintermediated ledger company Ripple to test out this sort of blockchain technology at the BOE. And they showed some sort of tests back in 2017. So he's willing to look at the underlying tech, but perhaps not the cryptocurrency.
All right, let's keep it going. $10,000 XRP already locked in. It's not just me, right? The people that spend all their day researching to better understand this, just know in their soul that if there's one shot in the crypto space, one company and one asset to bet on, it's not Bitcoin. It is the interconnected global network of Ripple using XRP as a transaction value for any of this stuff. FX, cross-border payments, domestic payments, you name it, XRP can do it for a lot cheaper. And that is going to be part of the new system. You also have Bloomberg trash talking XRP, Solana, and ADA. Let's better understand what they're saying here. Maybe we can fix a few things.
Okay, let's move on to the strategic cryptocurrency reserve that was announced or declared, I guess, by U.S. President Donald Trump on the weekend. It resulted in a big surge in the price of Bitcoin, the price of Ether as well. But there's been controversy over the inclusion of 3 lesser-known digital tokens in that reserve. Why don't you talk to us about that?
Yeah, I think that's the interesting part here. You definitely saw a lot of optimism on Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening, when this post went out and the cryptocurrency market did move a decent amount. Now you are seeing a bit of a pullback, with these 3 lesser known cryptocurrencies, essentially XRP, SOL, and ADA. I think there is a little bit of concern as to really how much does this move the needle if Trump is posting saying that he would like to add these 3 tokens to the strategic crypto reserve. How much does it actually help the industry or the asset class or the market in and of itself? And I think that's where you're seeing that skepticism in the market today. All 3 of these tokens have dropped instead of rallying, which is normally what we would see. I think I'm also interested to find out, why did Trump post this on Sunday afternoon?
Okay, I'll give you some context here because I went through all of this. I understand what's happening here. Trump didn't know that. So Trump has met with like Brad Garlinghouse. I think he's met with Charles Hodgkinson or I can't remember that dude's last name. I do apologize, from Cardano. And I don't know what his connections is to Solana. I think he wants to have those 3 included. Trump didn't know at the time, and he probably still doesn't know, that the US has not, because the only crypto that is added to the US strategic reserve right now is crypto that has been seized or forfeited by illegal activity from U.S. prosecutors and ATF, FBI, these types of people. Silk Road was a good example. There was a lot of Bitcoin and other assets. Currently, the US basically holds Bitcoin. They hold some Ethereum. They hold some Wrap Bitcoin. They hold some BNB. They hold Tron. And then they have a very small amount of like Link and another asset. So it's not a bunch of other assets. They don't have XRP. They don't have Solana, and they don't have ADA. So you listen to the crypto czar, David Sachs. He said last week that he doesn't even know where the US crypto is and what is actually in the US, this going to be this new strategic reserve. So they're not talking to each other, and David Sachs needs to do his job about figuring out how much crypto the US actually owns and what cryptos those are. So the only way the US is going to be able to add XRP to this strategic reserve is if Ripple somehow gifts it, because there's no new money that Trump has to put into digital assets. And that's why we are seeing a tumble in the crypto market right now, because that basically deflated everyone. Trump said last Sunday that XRP, Solana, and ADA would be added to this new strategic reserve. Then we find out a few days later that Joe said, Trump was just saying that, he was just mentioning the top three. He wasn't saying that they would be added. So there's some mix up in what they're saying, but that's basically the story.
Did he do it because he has seen the sell-off in crypto in the last month? Crypto posting, Bitcoin posting its worst month since 2022, or is there another reason behind it? Is he moving ahead with the strategic crypto reserve? A lot of things in the background that we may not know, but all you can do is take a look at what you've seen so far. Bad month for crypto. Then there is this Truth Social post talking about bringing in some lesser known, less trading on some of these tokens as well in comparison to the big ones like Bitcoin and Ether. And what exactly is the purpose? Maybe he'll talk about it a little bit more, or maybe this optimism that we saw on Sunday has just completely died off.
I wish people that reported on what's happening actually knew what was going on, not guessing. Not, if this or if that or maybe this. Do the research, better understand it so you can actually talk to your larger audience. Bloomberg is a big deal. And when you have people on Bloomberg that don't know what they're talking about, it doesn't reflect well on the ecosystem, right? Here is a great clip from Brad Garlinghouse. This person says, it's an easy 10x in the next 5 to 10 years. It feels safe and it's conservative. 100x seems a bit more aggressive in the same period. I don't know. XRP, giga bullish. 10x, 100x. Let me play this for you.
The US dollar, arguably the best managed currency in the world, has been devalued through inflation by, over 90% in the last 50 years.
Is it 90% in the last 50 years?
If you do that, just an adjusted, what was it, to $100,000?
Purchasing power.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Incredible.
So, do we think that's going to get better or worse?
Wow. With the printing press.
I think it's probably going to get worse.
Yeah. Makes sense.
And that's the best managed currency. It's inevitable. And it's inevitable that, right now we talking about is $2.5 trillion. Look, do I think this is an easy 10x over the next 5 to 10 years? Yeah, no problem. That doesn't freak me out when I say that at all.
That's conservative.
That feels safe. I mean, to the earlier conversation about asymmetric returns, is there a chance that it's 100x in that time frame? It feels aggressive, but
guys, let me know down in the comments where you think XRP is going to be in 5 to 10 years. Do you think it's going to be, $5, $10, $100, $1,000, $10,000? Where do you think it's going to be? I really want to understand that better. Thank you so much, guys, for being here. Go out, have a good week, kill it, whatever you're doing. I hope you have a fantastic day. I've been Crypto Sensei. Aloha. Please like and subscribe.